SMBs are under growing pressure to secure data, streamline systems, and prepare their environments for AI. Partners are looking for solutions that bring clarity and control. Let's explore how partners can meet that demand with confidence. Hi, I'm Kenna Johnson from the Channel Company. I'm here with Mike DePalma from OpenText. Thank you so much for joining me here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Mike, partners are seeing SMBs overwhelmed by AI momentum and data growth. What's the biggest shift you're seeing in how they approach information and security today?
Yeah, it's interesting because AI is such a hot topic, both in the channel, but especially in the small business community. Because everybody sees the potential and sees how much it could drive, profitability and productivity and all those different types of things. And so in the channel, MSPs and vendors are trying to figure out where we sit in here, right? Because the problem with AI is a lot of times it seems so easy that now small business says, well, I don't need to outsource that. I can handle that, right? And so we're seeing studies, MIT put out a study last year where they said 95% of all AI projects failed to produce any ROI. So that wasn't because the AI tool itself failed. It was because they were nobody knew what the end goal was supposed to be, what the business outcome they were looking for, and they didn't have anybody project managing that. And so now all of a sudden they throw their hands up and say, hey, we tried one of these AI projects, it didn't work. So you have that bucket of SMBs. You have the other ones that are like, I can handle it all on my own. And so for an MSP, it's a huge opportunity to say, okay, yes, AI has extreme potential to make you more productive, more profitable, but you need somebody overseeing that. And so I think a lot of the conversations I have with partners are around that. And I think we're all trying to figure that out and define it, but we know that's where the potential is.
Mike, with tool sprawl growing, how are partners using consolidation to deepen customer relationships and reduce complexity?
Yeah, we've been seeing more and more of that over the last several years. And it comes up in a lot of surveys. When you talk to MSPs and they say, what are some pain points? Vendor sprawl tends to come up over and over again. I will say that, when we talk about consolidation, it doesn't necessarily mean that they want to just have one vendor. They want to have multiple vendors that all work together. And so if there's certain security stacks that we could bundle together, that's what they're looking for, right? If there's certain tools that it makes sense to bundle together because of the, just innate integrations capabilities there, they want to do that. I think the key is that MSPs want flexibility. So I hate when you hear people, whether it's analysts or it's vendors, saying this is what the channel wants, this is what MSPs need to do. There's so much diversity in terms of how MSPs are running their business that I think what they really want is options. And yeah, I want to bundle these products together, but I want to work with this vendor over here. So what they really want is, yes, they don't want to work with 17, 20 vendors, but they still want the flexibility to say, hey, I want to work, these are the 6 or 7 vendors I want to work with. I'll buy a bundle from this one, and I want them to work together.
Copilot brings AI to Microsoft 365. Where are partners seeing the most value layering OpenText on top, especially around control, compliance, and automation?
Yeah, one of the benefits that we have, so we've been a Microsoft CSP for 20 years, right? We were standing on stage when they made the announcement of the program, right? So, but we're the only CSP that has our own security stack. So we're not reselling anything. So anything within our security stack is obviously going to have, ingrained in it, great integrations with that Microsoft stack, whatever they're using. And we also have the ability now to manage that in the same portal as you're managing whatever security stack you have, right? And so I think one of the things that we do really well is the team of folks that support our partners, teaching them how, whether it's governance, whether it's how to go to market, whether it's how these integrations can make sense for you, both on the security side, the productivity side, which ultimately becomes more profitable. And so it's the tools and the integrations are one piece, but I think the human capital that we have behind making sure MSPs understand where that, where those advantages come from is, for us, I think, a key component of what our messaging has been.
When partners bundle AI, security, and productivity, margins rise. What opportunities open up when OpenText is paired with Microsoft 365 Business, Premium, and Copilot Business?
Yeah, so we've seen this evolution, really in the last 20 years over the channel, but we've seen it really accelerate over the last 3 to 5 in terms of what an MSP is doing for their clients and where they're making their money, right? As you look at the evolution of the channel, started with break fix, then it started, hey, there's this MRR model, which essentially was, I'm going to put my stack together, I'm going to mark up this product 40%, here's my, labor behind it, here's my true margin. What we're seeing now is the ability to actually make a lot of money outside of just your stack. And so it's actually the post-sale that you're starting to see this growth potential. And we actually had a study that was done, a partner ecosystem study, that said that, folks that are spending $1 with OpenText have the potential to make $6.73. Now, that's not saying, hey, you're going to buy this product and mark it up 670%, right? But what it's saying is you put this by bundling things together and partnering it with Microsoft. It's going to make you much more productive, and it's going to give you the insights to now start adding design services, architectural services, just managed services beyond what you're doing. Like now you're having those business conversations that go beyond just here's my cybersecurity stack. And I think what we see is that, again, that evolution from, all right, the break fix to MSP, and then you have the MSP that's now standardizing on the stack and might offer a little bit more. And then there's that next iteration that's, no, I'm going to be embedded in my client's company, where we're going to be not just solving security problems and IT problems, but business problems. There are things that I could do with technology that can solve business problems outside of IT. And now when you're in there and you're that trusted advisor and you feel like you're genuinely part of this team, it opens up so many doors for profitability. And I genuinely think in the next 3 to 5 years, the way that MSPs are generating the most revenue is going to look a lot different than it has in the past 15 years because of those opportunities.
Now, Mike, safe AI is a top concern. How does OpenText help partners support Microsoft's permission-based approach, enabling them to guide customers in adopting AI responsibly?
Yeah, and governance is a huge part of what an MSP should be doing. That's, again, an advantage, because those SMBs that I mentioned before that think they could do it all on their own, man, they're opening the doors for a lot of criminals, and criminals love that, right? They love to see some small business owner think they could handle that stuff, right? And so, we're here at Exchange, in a lot of the conversations we've had in the boardrooms was about governance, right? And so it's extremely important. Now, Microsoft Copilot, luckily, allows you to structure that. But again, I go back to our team and our people that are just dedicated. Our sales team is great and they're knowledgeable. We've got a team that's quota bearing. They're literally, their whole job is to make sure that you're configuring everything properly, making sure you're up to date on new releases, again, talking about those integrations. And so that team of consultants that we have that just live and breathe just Microsoft day in and day out, really become for us a key component of what we mean by a partnership. Like, we don't want to be seen as the place you just go buy your Microsoft. We want to be a partner to make sure that you're utilizing it properly, you're making the most margin that you can off of it, and you're ultimately servicing your clients, making sure that they're secure.
Now, Mike, looking ahead, how should partners prepare their service model for AI agents and the next wave of automation?
Yeah, I think the big opportunity is going to be in Copilot Studio in terms of what our environment we're doing. The Copilot Studio allows you to create agents specific to your client's needs. So now all of a sudden it's not a one size fits all. I go back to that business outcome conversation. You sit down with a prospect or an existing client and say, hey, look, tell me about your business problems. I could probably create an agent for you that's going to solve some of these problems, right? And now all of a sudden you're speaking their language, not here's what I do for all my law firms. Here's what I'm doing for your specific law firm. And I'm going to be able to do that. And the flip side of that, internally, it allows you to create agents for yourself, right? There's definitely things, and there's a lot of smart people on this channel know a lot more than me, but and they just love playing around in there and saying, man, if I had an agent that could do this, it would free up my text time or my salespeople's time or my marketing, right? It really trickles down to every department. And so I think what you're going to see is, and again, a lot of people talk about replacing people with AI. And I think it will replace some tasks, but I also think it'll open up new opportunities for new jobs and new roles that didn't exist. And I think, now it's going to be, you're going to be viewing this agent as an employee, essentially, that still will need a manager, a human that's, because AI agents can be stubborn. You still need somebody that's going to keep an eye on them. So I think that now you're going to be elevating some people in your organization that maybe hit their ceiling previously because there wasn't a role. Well, now AI agents, beyond just, completing tasks that you really need, changes your dynamic within your office, whether it's yourself internally or with a client.
Mike, seems like a world of possibilities. Thank you so much for sharing that information.
Yeah, no, I really appreciate it.
To learn more about OpenText, visit the website on your screen. For the channel company, I'm Kenna Johnson.